2 years ago, Volla started its smartphone journey from Germany with Viel Vergnügen as their motto, and the first Volla phone was a success, I would say, with fairly good hardware, but also with the support of the operating system. Volla has their own operating system, but there's also the possibility to install Linux and in specifically the Ubuntu Touch UI that you can see here running on my Volla phone. And this is the one that I want to review now that the successor is coming fairly soon. So summer 2022, the Volla Phone 22 will come out and will feature not only the Volla operating system, but also Ubuntu Touch and others with multi-boot support. So I think it's a good time to check out how Ubuntu Touch has been keeping up with the Volla phone over the years, 2 years old already, and how is it doing. So let's get started. So here's the Volla phone. We can see the plastic bag has held up pretty nicely, no scratches at all, no issues at all with this device, and also the front is pretty nice because it's protected not only by Gorilla Glass, I think, but also by this protection foil that I still have here on. And yeah, it's a fingerprint magnet. I can wipe it all day I want, but it will keep up fingerprints pretty soon as well. So first thing I want to try out is the fingerprint scanner. So the fingerprint scanner has been made a little bit more reliable, but you can see it's asking me for entering my password, which let's try the other finger, which is not, so it's not possible to unlock the device. This is one of the major gripes I still have a few years after the first version of Ubuntu Touch for the Volla phone, that I still have issues with the fingerprint reader, sometimes not recognizing my fingerprint, and other times, let's try it again, just working fine and unlocking the device. One of the bigger new features of this new Ubuntu release, let's check out the version number here so you can see which version number it is. It is Ubuntu 16.04 2022 W11. That's the operating system, and it has been updated just a few days ago. So this is the newest version that I have running here. I'm not sure if there's another version available. One of the major new features that I saw is not in the app selection, because the app selection is basically the same. I checked out the how's it called, Open Store, and few new applications have been added. Instagram as an Instagram app, Teleports as a Telegram application, which is pretty nice. There's some other applications here as well, as you can see, and I like it, I have to say, but not all of them are pretty good. This looks like a Twitter client here, Cine. Let's see, yeah, probably Twitter client. No, it's not a Twitter client, it's some kind of chat application. A metrics chat application. So this is available here. So you have most of the applications that you need, and most of them are running fine. Just like, for example, here the Teleports Telegram client is working fine. Most of the applications that I showed you initially are still running fine on Ubuntu Touch here to date. What is new is the possibility to install a Waydroid. A Waydroid helper, first of all, is the application that I would recommend to download from the Open Store and then install Waydroid. It will reboot, and then you have the option to run Android applications on the Ubuntu Touch operating system. So let's go back here, and you will see I have some Android applications from the F-Droid store. So let's check out F-Droid. Here's F-Droid. And when I click on this, it will go directly to F-Droid. But how does it work? You can see it has some Android navigation buttons here cut off a little bit. Basically, what you have to do after you installed Waydroid is start Waydroid, which is simply booting up a version of Lineage OS based on Android 10. And this will allow us to run all of the different applications. I can even go into this Waydroid application. Let me see here. I have it. It's not this one. Where is it? There we go. And if I'm not mistaken, it should take me to the desktop in a few seconds. It's not working. Let's go back and to F-Droid. And here I can go to desktop. Yeah, and there I have a full-fledged Android system running here as an application on top of Ubuntu Touch. So I can go to settings here, and Ubuntu Touch is restarting. This can happen sometimes. So it's the first time now for me, but Waydroid is still a beta version. So this is something that you might have an issue with. And let's try the unlock option. Doesn't work, of course. So 123, my super secret password, it restarted basically. So what I have to do is just simply maybe stop Waydroid here if it's still running. I think it crashed, and start Waydroid again, so I can see how long it takes for starting up. You can see that it will take a while for starting up, but what's cool is that it will start up into an Android desktop environment or home screen, and you can use it then normally as you would use any other Android system. The cool thing is that you will end up with icons here also in, there we go, it started up, and here you have my Android-like configuration. Now let's go into settings to see if it's working. Yeah, it's working fine now. And I can go to About Phone, and I can go about Android version. You can see this is Lineage OS 17.1, so Android version 10 with security patches from February 5th, 2022. So this is what I have here. But I can directly run applications also from here. Just like, for example, you can see I have various different calendar applications. Some of them are native applications from Ubuntu Touch. Other ones are from within the Waydroid environment. So I can run F-Droid, I can run Fairmail, File Manager, the gallery, simple gallery application, and some other applications. For example, NewPipe here, which is starting the YouTube client NewPipe, a free and open source YouTube client. The issue that I have here, let's search for something like, for example, one of my reviews of Ubuntu Touch that I had with this one is, first of all, volume controls. You get two, the native Ubuntu Touch one and the native Android one, is that when I want to switch to full screen, you can see it's not working. So rotation wise, there's still a problem for watching some videos. It might be an issue here and there. So this is not going to work in this case. But there's also support for other things, like, for example, there is Open Camera. Let's find Open Camera. So you have also the possibility to use a camera application from within Android. And again, if I rotate it, you can see the UI is not working, but the recording function with the volume key is working. And I recorded a little sample to show you how it's looking like with 1080p 30 frames per second. I think this is the maximum that you can get here with Open Camera on the Volla Phone.
So this is a test with the Volla Phone using the main camera of the Volla Phone, using Waydroid and the Open Camera application that has some digital image stabilization and hopefully also a good audio quality here using the Volla Phone. What do you think about this feature?
So is there anything else in terms of apps and selections and so on? So we have our installed apps. We have app updates, fairly regular app updates. Not all apps are being updated all the time, which is like a bit of a bummer. So this is one of the major drawbacks. The native apps are a little bit weak still, so not taking off as much as I would like to have. The updates are coming pretty nicely. So where do I have the update here? The update button. And you can see I updated here 17th of April to version 51 of Ubuntu Touch with those applications also being updated. So there's still updates coming for Ubuntu Touch, and it's working quite nicely. I like to still use the Morph browser as web browser, which is very good. And running fine, so downloading wallpapers and so on is one of my favorite things to do. It's also pretty smooth, I have to say. Other applications sadly are not so smooth, like for example the Telegram application Teleports that I mentioned before. Scrolling around here can be sometimes a lot of, let's search for Volla here, can be a lot of pain. It is a bit slow, I have to say. And you notice that here and there, but still it is working nicely. You have notifications, as you can see here. You have the possibility to attach external drives, access them. You have the possibility now to also use Android applications. I'm using mainly F-Droid applications, and it's working fine. So it is a good system, and it's still running fine, solid. It's a bit slow. You can see here already scrolling in this list. It's sometimes stuttery, which is like a problem that I don't want to have actually on my smartphone anymore. At least on those smartphones that only support 60 Hertz, they should run smooth and fine. Twitter application here is also running. It's a web browser, basically using the web browser, but still sadly did not update it, I think, to the new web engine. So it is still using an older version, and scrolling is a little bit frustrating as well sometimes, because you can see it's like it's not very fast and fluid like I want it to be. And this is something that sometimes can get on your nerves with Ubuntu Touch on the Volla Phone. Especially I'm scrolling up now. I'm not sure what it's doing, but even the scroll bar is not keeping up with my scrolling. So I'm here now, scrolling up now. And where's the scroll bar now? Down somewhere there. So you see there is some issues still with Ubuntu Touch here, and some bugs, as you can see here, can occur sometimes, but in general it's a solid operating system. And if you are accustomed to all those little quirks and issues, it is still very good application, and a very interesting alternative for all the other smartphones, especially if you like Linux, if you want to support Ubuntu Touch, UBPorts, if you want to support a free operating system without all this Google stuff. I think this might be the thing here. And the Volla Phone is keeping up. Battery life is also okay, did not improve, I have to say. So I was hoping for an improvement here, but did not really see any improvement in regards to this. And you can still use it, which is nice. And emails are working fine and so on. And you can see 9GAG is working fine here as well. So no issues there with this. I'm still not the greatest fan of Ubuntu Touch and UBPorts here in this case. I really like to have a better UI where I have at least a customization in terms of home screen, where I don't have like this app or the app drawer. And here, untrusted, like this multitasking thing. But I want to have like some kind of home screen where I can see my wallpaper and adjust my icons the way I like to. Maybe I'm too traditional in this sense here in terms, but also I think what we need somehow is like the possibility to group up stuff. Like, for example, I want to group up Mastodon's and Twitter to a social media kind of folder, but I cannot really do it. The only thing I can do is like long press on the icon to go to the store, which is also fine, so I can read the comments and so on. But some kind of more customizations would be nice to organize more and more apps into some categories or folders, which for me is not working quite now. The search is working fine, so if I want to search for something like Fahrplan, for example, filtering is working fine. So this is pretty okay. So if you have like a basic kind of phone with a little bit of social media, some bit of binge watching on YouTube, which is working fine, then this phone is still rock solid and is working pretty nice. The speakers, of course, are a bit of weak, so I would really recommend you to use the headphone jack here at the bottom to get a little bit better sound. Otherwise, the camera is like for taking some snapshots here and there in emergency situations. Otherwise, the video, even with open camera, is not the best, I would say. And what can I say? This is a solid phone still. So it's not getting slower at any point. It gets more features with Waydroid, so which is cool. It's still supported, gets updates, security fixes here and there. So it's a solid device. It's just a little bit boring because nothing much changed besides the Waydroid support that some people are convinced about is very, very important and very, very good for them to finally maybe switch to Ubuntu Touch. Though this has some limitations here and there, as I showed you with the rotation issue. This is basically everything for this little update on the Volla Phone running Ubuntu Touch OS. I know it is not much of a difference to the last video that I did, but some people were asking me more and more, what about the Volla Phone? What about the Volla Phone? What about Ubuntu Touch? And I was saying, okay, I will take a look at it again and will show you in a new video my update for the Volla Phone, and hopefully Volla Phone 22 or Volla 22 will be a success as well and will run a little bit more fluid with Ubuntu Touch here, and will have some great specs also on the camera, 48 megapixels instead of this here, which is I think 8 megapixels and 12 megapixels, something like this. And yeah, we will see nice improvements also in terms of battery life, because the battery here is running solidly but can run pretty fast empty when you're running a Waydroid, which is like a bit ironically because yeah, Android and eating up batteries. That's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you have some questions, write it down in the comment section. Until the next time, bye.